Well, this theater here in Queens has been around for the past 45 years, Thalia Spanish Theatre here in Sunnyside, Queens. And you know, it actually celebrates Hispanic heritage throughout the year, not just during this month. And that's because it's one of 9 theaters across New York that produce plays in English and Spanish, and sometimes both. With more on that, I actually want to bring in the artistic director, Angel Gil-Orioles. So tell me a little bit about that. How do you decide which plays you're going to produce, and how do you decide which will be in Spanish, which in English, and which in both?
Mm-hmm. Well, for us, we've been in existence for 45 years and we've produced 243 productions. So we select the plays that make sense for contemporary issues for our community, and most of the productions we do here are world premieres or American premieres of the best writers and composers from Spain, Latin America, or Hispanics in the U.S.
Amazing. So I know you do plays and musicals and sometimes comedy shows. So tell us about which ones are usually in Spanish and which are in English.
Well, all of our productions are generally bilingual. So because we do 5 productions a year and 3 or 4 are musicals, of course they are in Spanish because they are with flamenco or tango, although the lyrics are with overtitles, so that way people can follow the story. But the plays, comedies or dramas are done bilingually, some performances in English and some in Spanish.
Amazing, amazing. And so, and then I know you were telling me that some performances, like you're going to have next weekend a comedy show and a magician, and he's going to alternate during the actual performance between English and Spanish. That's really incredible, isn't it? And a treat for the audience.
Well, yeah, because all our talent is bilingual, and therefore when, like in this case, is a magician, Alberto de Herrera, who comes directly from Colombia, and does a stand-up comedy magician show. So then, yeah, plays with the audience interactively, and depending on what's the main language of those audiences, then he does that bilingually at the same time. Yes.
So amazing. And so this is one of 9 theaters across New York that does this. And you were telling me off camera that you formed sort of an alliance of theaters. Why is it so important to have these bilingual theaters here in New York?
Well, for our community, you know, the Hispanic community is a very large community in New York. And at the same time, there is a lot of interest in the Latino music and dance too. So therefore, when we do musicals, for example, 50% of our audience is Hispanic, but the other 50% is from all over. No? And also, of course, the new generations of Hispanics, younger people who speak English as their first language. So for us, it's very important to alternate with both. You know?
To alternate with both and really create that sense of community and that education about the language and the culture. So really, really fascinating. And, you know, Angel was telling me off camera about some of the amazing productions. They just had one called Life Lessons that wrapped. And again, next weekend, there's going to be a comedian magician who's going to be putting on a bilingual show. So definitely something to look out for if you are in Sunnyside, Queens. You can actually head online to thaliatheater.org for more information on tickets if you are interested. I know we definitely recommend you try it out. For now, guys, though, I will send it back to you.
Thank you.